Hello, YouTube. So it's 2016. It has been forever months since I've recorded a video. I decided new year, so new energy. Try to get back on that, video making horse. So I went through all the effort of like extending my camera to the other side of my living room. For our, our fancy new digs. Do you like my beige couch with my beige walls? But I figured, sort of get away from that messy desk that all of the rest of my videos for the last 3 years have been at. And of course today I go to all the effort of like setting up my camera and getting ready to go, and like I'm just about to hit record and the computer crashes, and like crashes hard. So I had to do a whole lot of work to try to get it like to come back to life today. But here we are. So it's been kind of a cool year for me so far, which is good because 2015 ended on just the shittiest note possible for me. My dad died December 17th. So it was really, really fucking hard for me. I don't know that I can adequately explain. So thus far in 2016, I have been interviewed for BBC Radio, and so I got to go down to Navy Pier and record at the Chicago Public Radio studios. So it was really awesome, and I think you can find a photo of me on Twitter from that day where I was like in the studio and had a microphone and headphones on, and I looked really cool. So then that broadcast was 2 days ago on Tuesday the 14th, so Tuesday the 12th. So you can find it at BBC Radio. It is, if you look on the website, it's called Do We Have Enough Genders? And it was this like 23-minute segment where they started off talking to me, which was really cool, about being bigender and sort of where gender sits, like how there can be, not just two genders, and how someone can sort of move back and forth between them, and lots of other cool stuff. So I'm in like the first 8 minutes of it, and the link will be down in the notes. And then yesterday, BBC published an article with some more of the stuff that we had said in the interview, because we talked for like an hour and 15 minutes or something, and so that was cut down to like 8 minutes. So obviously not everything that I said got included. So that article came out, and that will also be in the show notes, and included a little bit more of what I said. So it was, it was like really cool. They called me an expert, which I thought was funny, because I don't feel like an expert on anything except sort of my life, and I fuck that up all the time. But, it's on them. They said it, whatever. So, I got to give a little plug to bigender.net, and, they, I don't know, it was just really cool. It was sort of gratifying that, like, after, BGN's going to be 6 in April, so after like 6 years of, sort of putting myself out in the public eye, it was, I kind of felt like I was recognized, like it was, that sort of has paid off for me, especially in my ability to like get the message out there. But it was broadcast on BBC World Service, which in Chicago broadcasts between like midnight and 6. But I have a friend who sleeps with the radio on, and she sleeps with NPR on, and like 3 o'clock in the morning, she heard my voice and woke up, so she listened to the segment like as it broadcast live, which I think was really, really cool. And then she yelled at me for waking her up, which, sort of. But yeah, so like that's cool. And then there's there's a user on here whose questions I've answered a lot when I was doing QA stuff. Their YouTube ID is SmartBoyEE2. And that's Alex Batts. She's awesome. She's a filmmaker, and she was a film student, and she actually asked me to come and be interviewed by her for a video series she was trying to do called People to Know or something like that. And that was like 2014. And she's sort of been working on it in the back burner and stuff. And she told me last night that it's all starting to come together. And so those videos are going to show up, start showing up on her channel. And there will be a link down there as well. I'll see if I can put something like here to kick over to her channel. But YouTube's links from videos are weird. But yeah, so like that's cool. That's sort of been in the back burner for ages, and she's had, various things here and there that have gotten in the way of that. So that's all like starting to come out too. So that's just really neat. But yeah, so my dad died. He died. I got the call that he died about an hour and a half after I was first contacted by the BBC to do this interview. And it just slapped me across the face, like it punched me in the gut. It was violent, this news. And like the first person I wanted to tell about it after my girlfriend was my dad. Like he was my cheerleader. When I got invited to talk at Yale, he was bragging about me to all of his friends. My kid got to talk at Yale, And it was like I would talk in front of like 20 people at like the Women's LGBT Center, not like, I wasn't delivering a commencement address, but he didn't care. He was just thrilled with the whole thing. And he was just the most impactful person in my entire life. My mom died when I was just itty-bitty. I was like 3.5. And so the only parent I had for a long, long time was him. And he sort of filled all of the roles, nurture and discipline and providing and comfort and everything. Like he was all parenting to me, which is why it's because of him that I was so intent on becoming a father. Like that was why it was so important to me, and part of why I started so young. I think he was 21 when I was born. He was 23 when my brother was born. And my mom died when he was 2 weeks shy of his 25th birthday. So he was 24 when she died, his wife. Mother of his kids. And so, I mean, he's 25 at this point, right? Like, he's basically a kid himself, and his whole world falls apart. And, we have a big family, so people were always there for us to help out and to pitch in and, make sure that my brother and I were taken care of. And, but at the end of the day, it was just him and us. And, he meant so much to me. When I first came out in my 20s, I was terrified because I was afraid that he was going to reject me. And, he was going to tell me that, I wasn't his kid. And I may have talked about this before, but he's not my biological father. He sort of pseudo-adopted me on the sly. He's the dad on my birth certificate. But he gave me his name, and he raised me as his own kid, and I didn't even really know until I was in my 20s. And so when I came out to him, I was terrified that he was going to say, "Thank God you're not mine," like, just reject me, and he didn't. My first coming out was really hard. It was really weird. I sort of like burst out of the closet and then crawled right back in, and I've talked about that before too. But he never forgot it, and he was always there to support me and said, "I love you, and no matter what, you're my kid, and I'm here for you." So then, like, I don't know, cut to like 8 years later or something, I'm actually starting to come out, and I'm starting to transition, and like, the further I got in my transition, the more he advocated for me. Like, there's people in my family, in our family, that are uncomfortable about me being trans, about me being a woman, about me being, different than their expectations, and it's hard for them, and they struggle with, using the right pronouns and using the right name, and he just went to bat for me all the time. Like, you couldn't misgender me in his presence, because he was going to give you something, to think about. And I don't have that in my life anymore, like, that's... I don't really know how to cope with the idea that he's not pulling for me the same way anymore. So, I'm struggling with that. It's been almost a month at this point since he's gone, and there's still things that, like, I see and I want to talk to him about, and with the interview coming out like 2 days ago, the very first thing I wanted to do was make sure that my dad got to hear it, and he never will, Like, I know he would have been super proud of me and really happy that it happened and that he got to, brag on me. So, like, I'm comforted by that idea, but, it's not the same. So, I don't know. I think maybe some of that's what's, like, spurring this sort of new desire to get out there and try to be that for other people. Because it kills me. Like, he was always so supportive, and I never really understood, I think, just how supportive he was going to be. Like, I sold him short. I didn't give him a chance until, the last few years, and he proved me wrong in so many ways, and in all of the right ways, and it was wonderful. And I love him, and I miss him a lot. I had to write and deliver his eulogy. 5 days, I think, after he passed. And I managed to get through it without crying, which I'm not able, apparently, to do for this video. But, like, I don't know. I was proud of myself for being able to really try, convey, I think, to everyone there, and it was a packed house. Sort of who he was, and tell stories about him, and there were so many things that sort of he did in the background that people didn't know about. He was just this really amazing man, and so smart, but in ways that people don't value. Like, he was so good with his hands. He could build anything. And, he designed this machine one day, like, just one day, at his job, that had never existed before, never will again, and it was like 15 years ago, and they're still using it. And it was just basically like a collection of spare parts. And he put it together like in no time flat, and it just blew me away. But he couldn't spell for shit, so every text message I got from him required a bit of, sort of dad to English translation. So everyone sort of wrote him off as being not smart, but he was compassionate, and he had such a big heart. And he was smart in just so many ways, like people ways. Like, he just connected with everybody. And I don't know, like, I just really miss him, and I guess I need to share that with all of you strangers on the internet. And I want, like, I take this role on the internet, like all of the people that have come through bigender.net and who I talk to on Tumblr all the time, and just, people who connect with me through Twitter or Facebook or anywhere else. I sort of take on this, Mama Brin role, and it's because so many people don't get to have the advocate, the parent, the love, the care, the protection that my dad gave to me. So all of you trans babies out there, just reach out to me. Send me an ask on Tumblr. Send me, connect with me on Twitter, or send me a Facebook message on my Brin Convenient profile, and I'll be here. I will be your, trans mom. And although trans mom on Tumblr is a really cool user, but she's not me. So I don't want to like take her, credit, because she's really awesome, and she does a really awesome job at doing this thing that I'm talking about. But look, if you need someone to have your back, it's me, because somebody really important had my back when I needed it, and when I had sort of nowhere else to go. And it's because of him that so much of my family has come around and been my support network, and I wouldn't have that without him. So basically here I've just been crying for 18 minutes on camera. That's great. My webcam seems to be as unfocused as me, and that's great. Alright, well, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'm going to try to make more videos. Do give the BBC Radio segment a listen, and like I said, the link will be down here. So will be the link to the article that goes along with it. And my contact information is always down here on all of my videos. Please use it. Please feel free to connect with me. And if you need help, if you need someone to listen, if you just need, I don't know, advice, someone to say I care, someone to say you're safe, and someone to say you're valuable, I'll give that to you. Because you are safe, and you are valuable, and you're really important, and someone cares. It's me. I care. And there are other people who care for you, but for sure it's me. So, alright, I'm going to try to make more videos, so do start sending me questions again in Tumblr, through the YouTube inbox chat thing. You can email me, brinconvenient@gmail.com. Send me questions. I will do my best to answer them. I have another video I know I want to record, just to sort of set up for next time. But thanks for listening. If you got here through all of the crying and the tears, I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. And I feel a lot better for having talked to you guys about it. It's weird, right? But anyway, thank you so much.